I thank the gentlelady. Now we'll recognize Ms. Cammack and her beautiful daughter, Augie, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and appreciate everyone's patience as a working mom and certainly a mom in the newborn trenches. This issue of daylight savings time actually really does impact all parents who are right now in the trenches with us. So I want to thank Chairman Bilirakis for his opening statement, particularly his remarks about the Sunshine State. Tourism is not just a sector in our economy, it is the backbone of our state. It is the #1 economic driver of Florida, as well as agriculture, a quick #2 right behind it. So whether we're dealing with packed stadiums during our University of Florida Gator games, or families are traveling to fish or golf, the Sunshine State is a year-round mecca of activity. And as we've heard today, the tourism and hospitality industries are facing significant pressures, whether it's hotels struggling with workforce shortages or rising operation costs. Outdoor recreation industries such as golf and fishing are very sensitive, as I said, to daylight hours. So as we talk about Florida's economy, but of course nationally, some of the challenges as we're going through this issue, I want to start out with Rosanna. Was it Maietta? Did I say that right?
Yes,
all right, good deal. So many rural areas, like mine in north central Florida, we depend heavily on seasonal tourism driven by activities such as fishing in the Gulf of America or small town festivals. We have everything from a watermelon festival, of which I am the seed spitting champion in Newberry, by the way, I should point out, to zucchini festivals, you name it. This is a huge economic driver for our region. So your testimony highlighted significant workforce shortages and the operational costs that continue to go up and the lingering impacts of the shutdown. So for rural communities that rely on just a few peak tourism windows to sustain them year-round, what federal action specifically or policy changes, and I want you to be very specific, would most help seasonal hotels, small lodging operators, and tourism-dependent businesses that remain fully staffed, financially stable, and able to meet the demand through those critical periods?
Well, thank you so much for the question. You know, I've spoken already about the need for the H-2B visas. I do think that that is a program that needs some specific reforms. It hasn't really been reformed since 1990 when it first started. 66,000 H-2B visas are simply not enough for the demand. We know that our hotel owners are creating housing to ensure that they can support people on site during those peak periods so they don't have to travel back and forth because so many, as you noted, are in rural areas. The second program I would say that we've invested and been proud to be a part of is the Department of Labor's apprenticeship program. That is a longer-term solution. We've been working to increase the number of apprentices throughout our industry over the past 7 years, and we've seen increased retention at the end of it with a job promotion and a salary increase for those who go through that program. That's another critical program that we rely on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And Dr. Kleppe, wanted to talk to you specifically about agriculture. So there's this urban legend that this all started at the behest of some farmers and ranchers. Now I have to say for the record, that is not true. But this is a huge issue in our agricultural communities. So while your research focuses primarily on the economic and behavioral effects of daylight savings time, transitions on markets and et cetera, I want you to talk a little bit about the impact to agriculture as it relates to daylight saving time and what we could see should we decide that we make a jump away from the biannual time change.
Thank you, Congresswoman. And as a parent of a young child as well, I know very saliently right now that kids do not care about us changing the clocks on their sleep patterns. So thank you so much for your question. And you bring up a very important issue, and it kind of relates to kind of something I mentioned earlier about, there are obviously different economic arguments for permanent standard time versus permanent daylight saving time. Mm-hmm. We heard some of the arguments from the other witnesses about the benefits of permanent daylight saving time. The agricultural industry, again, outside of my specific research, but the academic literature on that suggests that permanent standard time would be more beneficial to the agricultural industry than permanent daylight saving time. That is my understanding of that tangential research. And so it highlights that it's not, again, clear economically what is beneficial, choosing to stay permanently on standard time versus daylight saving time. And so there's going to be regional and industry-specific preferences that you as Congress members will have to sort out if you decide to kind of end the biannual shifts. But I think the research is clear that the biannual shifts are harming us all across the entire economy.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And my time has expired. I yield.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now we have